Hi everyone, it's Catherine and welcome back to my channel. If you can tell by the title of the video, I'm pregnant. I am pregnant with my rainbow baby. There is so much to cover. First of all, we're in April and I know I say this in every single video, but it has been so long since I've sat here and filmed a video. So I'm actually 21 weeks pregnant, almost 22. I recently announced at 20 weeks on social media. A lot of my friends and family did not know that I was pregnant. I've been keeping this a secret for a very long time. And I actually filmed a video, believe it or not, back in December. The intention back then was to, I wanted to document everything. I was going to post weekly videos and that just did not happen. I decided to not post the video. I didn't want to announce that early or have, friends and family find out before I was able to tell them. So I didn't post the video and so much happened during my first trimester. It was rough. It was very rough. There is so much to cover, like I said, but I will make this kind of like a series. I'll continue to post. I know in my last video, I think I left off with my laparoscopy that I had done last September. If you've been following me for a while, then you know I had a laparoscopy done in September. I had an ovarian cyst on my left ovary, a dermoid cyst. I think I just talked about how I was feeling, and I think that's where we left off. If you are unfamiliar with my story, this is my second pregnancy. I did have a second trimester loss last April, at 18, actually almost 19 weeks pregnant. I had a baby boy that we named Liam. And then after that, I did have a few complications. So after I lost him, I found out about the ovarian cyst. I had surgery, like I said, in September. My doctor did clear me to start trying after 2 cycles. And luckily I was able to do just that. So I was able to get pregnant right away, thankfully. We found out the day after Thanksgiving. I'll actually maybe insert a clip because I did record our reactions. So that was really fun. What does it mean?
Get the out of here.
And then the beginning of my, the very few weeks were fine. From weeks, I would say from 4 to 6. Those weeks were fine. My husband and I, we went to California. We went to Palm Springs in early December, and that was fine. And then my symptoms hit from 6 all the way up to 6 weeks to 15 weeks. I had severe symptoms. That was another reason why I decided not to post, because in the video that I was going to put out, I mentioned that I was going to provide updates every week, but no, that was not the case. I was bedridden like that whole entire time. It was very hard to get out of bed. And yeah, so because I had a loss last year due to some complications, I had incompetent cervix. I've mentioned here before, but basically my cervix is weak. It's not able to carry a baby full term without my water essentially breaking early. I also had PROM, which is preterm premature rupture of the membranes. Basically means that your water breaking early before, full term. So with this pregnancy, I am high risk. I don't see a regular OB. I actually see a maternal fetal medicine doctor, which is specifically just for high risk pregnancies, and I see him every 2 weeks. So I'm closely monitored, and I prefer it that way. I feel at peace, being able to go so often whereas in my last pregnancy, I was going like, I don't know, once a month or so, maybe less, because of, you know, COVID and everything. So I do feel grateful that I'm able to be seen so often. So yeah, my experience with that has been great. With this pregnancy, I do have a lot of restrictions. I'm not necessarily on bed rest or anything like that, but I do have some restrictions. It's just to name a few. You know, no intercourse, no working out really. I can't stand or sit for long periods of time. I can't go on walks longer than 20-30 minutes. I can't be in the car for so long. I'm trying to think what else. No heavy lifting, no bending down a lot. Basically can't do anything that's going to affect my cervix. Can't have any pressure where that area is. So if I start going all over the place, I apologize. There's just so much to cover. Again, I'm almost 22 weeks pregnant and there's a lot that's happened. I'm finally at the point where things have like settled down. I can kind of enjoy my pregnancy a little bit more. My symptoms aren't crazy. So I feel a lot better physically and mentally, emotionally now. Whereas in the beginning, it was just, there was a lot going on. So I just mentioned that I was in California with my husband a couple weeks after I got COVID. It was terrible. Luckily, I was able to recover very quickly, but it was just, it was a nightmare because having COVID on top of having pregnancy symptoms, I had severe morning sickness. It was terrible. It was so bad. Like I could not get out of bed. I was dizzy all the time. I was nauseous. I was throwing up. I was so tired. I was miserable. I actually lost some weight in my first trimester. And I'm now just gaining that weight back. I had a preventative Surclage placed at 12 weeks. I'll probably film a separate video talking a little bit more about that and all of the preventative measures that I've, you know, taken to be able to hold this pregnancy as long as I have been able to. So yeah, I had a preventative Surclage at 12 weeks. That was pretty brutal for me. The surgery itself was not bad at all. It was like 15-20 minutes. It was in and out of surgery, so it was very quick. But the recovery process, like right after surgery, was really hard for me. It took me longer than what I expected to recover. And I don't know if I can do it again, to be honest. It was really rough. After the Surclage, I started taking progesterone starting at 16 weeks. The progesterone that I'm taking is in the form of shots. The manufacturer is called Makina, and my husband actually gives me the shots every single week. We take them on Tuesdays, and that's been terrible. I hate taking those shots. If any of you are familiar with Makina or McKenna, however you say it, then you know exactly the symptoms that I'm talking about. But yeah, I can talk about all that in a separate video. And other than that, the only other, I guess, complication or like bump in the road that we've had to go through, my last appointment, which was yesterday, I was diagnosed with placenta previa. So just like another thing to add to the list. If you're unfamiliar with placenta previa, it basically means that you have a low-lying placenta and it's covering the opening of the cervix, which is not good. Lucky for me, it's very early. My nurse is not concerned at all. My doctor wasn't there yesterday, but the nurse, she says she's not worried at all. I still have a lot of time for the placenta to move. And she said most of the time it does. Worst case, if it doesn't move, I'll need a C-section at 36 or 37 weeks pregnant. So I'm not concerned about that. I've been trying not to Google because Google is my worst enemy. And This pregnancy has already been hard mentally as it is, so I don't want to stress myself even more. But yeah, my husband and I were so excited about this pregnancy. Yes, it's been hard emotionally and mentally, but like I said, I'm finally, now that I'm almost 22 weeks pregnant and I'm almost at viability week, which is 24, I'm feeling more at peace and confident that this pregnancy, you know, is going to go to full term. So I feel really happy about that. We decided we're not finding out the gender, which is really exciting. I never thought I'd be one of those people to wait until the birth, but I don't know. I feel like, you know, life doesn't give you a lot of surprises like that. So I figured, why not, right? And at the end of the day, the gender is not important to us. So yeah, so we decided to wait. I think the hardest part has been like constantly telling my doctor, my tech and nurse, like, please don't tell us the gender. Whenever I go in for an ultrasound, every 2 weeks I go in for an ultrasound, I have to tell the tech, please don't point out the gender. And I have to tell my doctor too, because my doctor, he is very outspoken and he's loud and he'll slip as far as what everyone has told me. They're like, make sure you remind him because he will slip. He's just, he's nuts. So that has been my exciting news and the reason why I've been hiding for all of these months. I will be posting more consistently. So I think with my next video, I will do a first trimester recap. And then I do want to talk about my Surclage, progesterone shots, talk a little bit more about placenta previa and all that. And yeah, I'm so excited to take you along this journey. Thank you so much for watching again, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. Well, before I close off, I did want to provide a bump date. So I am kind of big. I feel like, I don't know. So this is my bump. I feel like it's pretty big. I do have a small torso, so it does look a little bit big in my opinion. I don't know, or maybe it's normal. I'm also really short. I'm like barely 5'2". Started showing I think around 18 weeks is when I started showing, and then yeah, I've just been getting bigger and bigger every week. So yeah.